Meriwether Lewis was born in Albemarle County, Virginia, in the present-day community of Ivy, on August 18, 1774. During his time in Georgia, Lewis enhanced his skills as a hunter and outdoorsman. He would often venture out in the middle of the night in the dead of winter with only his dogs. In 1793, Lewis graduated from Liberty Hall, joined the Virginia militia, and in 1794 he was sent as a part of the detachment involved in putting down the Whiskey Rebellion. In 1795, he joined the U.S. Army as a lieutenant, where he served until 1801, at one point in the detachment of William Clark, who would later become his companion in the Corpse Discovery. When Jefferson began to formulate and to plan for an expedition across the continent, he chose Lewis to lead the expedition.
William Clark was born in Caroline County, Virginia on August 1, 1770, the ninth of 10 children. Clark did not have any formal education, but like many of his contemporaries, he was tutored at home. In 1789, 19-year-old William Clark began his military career by joining a volunteer militia force under Major John Harding. Clark kept a detailed journal of the expedition, the beginning of a lifelong practice. In 1803, Lewis recruited Clark, then aged 33, to share command of the newly formed Corps of Discovery, whose mission it was to explore the territory of the Louisiana Purchase, establish trade and sovereignty, and find a waterway from the 13 colonies to the Pacific Ocean. They wanted to claim the Oregon Territory for the United States before the European nations could do it.
The Lewis and Clark expedition lasted from 1804 to 1806. It was the first United States expedition to the Pacific Ocean. Lewis and Clark were accompanied by a 15-year-old Shoshone Indian woman, Sacagawea, the slave wife of a French-Canadian fur trader who served as their interpreter. Reliable historical information about Sacagawea is very limited. In 1800, when she was about 12, she and several other girls were kidnapped by a group of Hidatsa, also known as Minnetarees, in a battle that resulted in death among the Shoshone of 4 men, 4 women, and several boys. She was taken as a captive to a Hidatsa village near present-day Washburn, North Dakota.
On May 14, 1804, the expedition begins.
July 4, 1804. Expedition marks first 4th of July west of the Mississippi by firing the keelboat's cannon and naming Independence Creek. On September 7, 1804, all of the men attempted to drown a never-before-seen prairie dog out of its hole for shipment back to Jefferson because they have never seen one before.
On October 24, 1804, the expeditioners discover an earth-lodged villages of the Mandan and Hidatsa Indians.
On February 11, 1805, Sacagawea gives birth to a baby boy, Jean-Baptiste. On April 29, 1805, Lewis and another hunter killed a large grizzly bear which had never before been described for science.
On May 29, 1805, Clark names the Judith River in honor of a girl back home in Virginia that he hopes to marry.
On October 16, 1805, the expedition reaches the Columbia River. On March 7, 1806, the expedition ran out of tobacco. They had run out of their whiskey the previous 4th of July.
On August 14, 1806, the expedition returns to the Mandan village, where Sacagawea and her son stay. On September 23, 1806, Lewis and Clark finally reach St. Louis.
In the fall of 1806, Lewis and Clark are treated as national heroes. They return to Washington, D.C. The men receive double pay and 320 acres of land as reward. The captains get 1,600 acres. Lewis is named governor of Louisiana Territory. Clark is made Indian agent for the West and brigadier general of the territory's militia. On October 11, 1809, Lewis commits suicide at Grinder's Stand at an inn south of Nashville. On December 20, 1812, Sacagawea dies at Fort Manuel, and Clark assumes custody of her son, as well as her daughter. On September 1, 1838, William Clark dies at the home of his eldest son, Meriwether Lewis Clark. William Clark had married Judith Hancock, for whom he had named a river while on the expedition. Did you know? The expedition traveled over 8,000 total miles over a period of 2 years, 4 months, and 10 days. When the expedition reached the Pacific, Clark estimated they had traveled 4,162 miles from the mouth of the Missouri to the Pacific. His guess was within 40 miles of the actual distance. When game was plentiful, each man ate about 9 pounds of meat per day. Thank you for watching our wonderful video!
Yay!
Woo!
MC Lala and Guerrilla Welfare Productions presents Lewis and Clark. 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 Saka Saka Joia. Saka Saka Joia.